Hi, my name's James Reiss. I'm known as DJ Bluefoot, and I do the DJ workshops with the youth offending teams. What we do is we all jump in the room. I set up various bits of DJ equipment, and we throw them straight in the deep end. Show them some techniques, show them some different styles of music, ask them to bring their own music, and we aim to bring them out after 3 sessions with a recording of their own taste in music, mixed in a DJ fashion in their own taste. So I show them various different ways of doing it and get them stuck straight into it. Out of the DJ workshops, I think the young people gain all kinds of skills in DJing, obviously, but also an understanding that it's one of those fields where you can make your own career following what you want to do without having to be really towing anyone else's line, but also they understand that it's one of those fields where the more you put into it, the more you'll get. So they understand it's not something you can just walk into. It's something you have to build upon, as opposed to being their image of a superstar DJ or a rock star or that sort of thing where celebrity and bright lights is all they're looking for. I try and make sure they understand it's something you have to build up on, but it is a career you can build up on to be your own thing. I find the best way to approach youth workshops with DJing is to use CD turntables, which is a bit controversial to most DJs who consider vinyl records to be the real DJing thing. But as vinyl records are so fragile and delicate, I try and stick with younger kids and with intro sessions anyway with CD turntables because they can get more involved with the music and the techniques of queuing up and scratching without having to worry about how fragile the turntables are with vinyl. Now, that said, you often find youth who already know the kind of cliqueiness of wanting to use vinyl turntables, and as such I take one along so they can have a go. And they normally always agree, yeah, that's too fragile. With the time available to us, we'll stick to CDs to do our tape and understand that if we get a bit more chance, we can apply the same techniques to vinyl, but still have to be more fragile. That said, I also find it's excellent using the CDs because none of the kids generally have their own vinyl, but they all have CDs or access to CDs, so they can bring their own music, which means they're recording their own tastes. That said, it's also very good when a group has similar taste because there's occasional conflicts between different scenes, as there always are in youth scenes, from mods to rockers up to nowadays when it's chavs and moshers. It's the same old sort of irrelevant conflict to adults. It seems pointless that they're arguing over it, but they take it very seriously, so it is best if they have a similar taste. I think DJing as an art form varies and is different from what children learn in school because it is instantly accessible and it's something that, for want of a better word, it's trendy. So they can associate with it and associate what some of their older brothers and sisters might be doing and a modern contemporary feel. Whereas schools are kind of always stuck with curriculums and methods of teaching and boxes to tick, DJing as an art form means they can really express themselves in something that is contemporary and that they're into. That said, I also do these sorts of workshops in schools, and I do them a lot more methodically. But for the kind of workshops we do with the young offenders, it's a break from learning parrot fashion, and it's a break from having to be sat down and constantly waffled at, basically. I think one of the biggest difficulties I have with the youth workshops comes with the fact that because the groups vary hugely over the course of the sessions, it is very difficult to maintain a progression with any youth. For instance, if there's 3 sessions and someone's not there on the middle session, it's very hard to get them caught up in the last session, and it costs the rest of the group time while I'm getting the other people caught up. It's the attendance basically is very difficult if it's hit and miss because we are trying to progress towards learning a skill and then applying it very quickly. That said, where people have been able to attend, and it's through no fault of the youth of their own, I should say, occasionally it's court appearances, sometimes obviously there's illnesses, and sometimes it just can't be helped. But that aside, where there have been youth who've managed to stay all the time and come all the time and have enjoyed it themselves because it's something they've took to, it's been really, really excellent and really satisfying for myself to see just how much they can progress because their interest's maintained, because they're self-motivated to crack on with the work. It's excellent for me and it's excellent for them. You can see a mutual respect by the end of the sessions because they're happy with the product they've produced. And that's definitely one reason that's keeping me in this job. One of the best things I get out of these is when the youth have been on the whole course and they've finished it and they've got a CD in their hand that they're happy with and they know they're going to listen to, they're going to take it to their mates. They get that sense of pride and satisfaction at a job well done, which in some cases they've never had in anything. And it's not just a job well done, it's a job they wanted to do that was well done, self-motivated, interested, and with an achievement at the end, a viable product at the end. And it's that makes it excellent and makes it really worthwhile for them, I think.
My name's Jed Walker. I've been working on a project with Sangam with Kirklees Youth Offending Team. We've been doing some boards, graffiti boards with young people to try and discover a little bit more about themselves and help them to express some of the things that are important to them. I think the young people have got a lot more confidence from the workshops. I think a lot of young people came thinking that they couldn't draw and that was going to really hold them back and that they, in some way, what they did wasn't going to be good enough. And I think that with the right support and encouragement, they were able to all produce something that was really high quality and also that they felt proud of. And I think they gained confidence and pride as well. For a lot of them, they felt proud of something that they'd done for the first time in a long time. I think we worked really well as a team in supporting the young people. We were helping the young people in a lot of different ways because obviously a lot of the young people are coming with their own issues as well. And so that's not something I can always deal with because I don't know the background. So by working as part of a team, we were able to support young people in a lot of different ways and really help to get the most out of the work for them. I think a lot of young people at school are taught that art is about doing the right thing to get a qualification and it's about drawing really well and making sure that everything you do is perfect. And to come in and to have an opportunity to really to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes is something quite new, and they're able to get a sense of experimenting and really just trying things out and practicing and being supported and getting some great results from that, yeah. But it was the process that they went through that was really important as well. They weren't getting an exam result from it. They were enjoying themselves and they were getting something personal from it. Okay, the best thing about the project for me was that you were seeing the distance that young people travelled. You saw someone come in and they didn't feel quite sure about things. They didn't feel sure about the other people they were working with. They didn't feel sure about you as an artist. They didn't feel sure about their own ability. And by the end of it, they'd travelled on a journey with you and you'd seen them become more confident and more friendly and more open to communicating with you, more open to new ideas, and just to really see that sort of coming out of themselves a little bit more and having that supportive environment. I think it was a really rewarding project for me to work on because of that. I think a lot of young people actually understood some of the benefits that they were getting from the process as well. Often we, as workers, have a clear idea what we want young people to get from a process or a project. But I think that actually looking back, the young people could see for themselves that actually, yeah, I feel confident about the fact that I can do this now, and I feel that I can talk to people a little bit more openly now about my ideas, and my ideas are okay, and it's fine for me to say that. I think in that way, young people have really developed, and I think that's, they've seen benefit from the projects as well.
Hi, my name's Michelle Scally-Clark. I'm a performance poet. I've been working in this field for 10 years, delivering workshops to young and old. Hi, my name's Michelle Scally-Clark. I'm a performance poet. I have been delivering workshops to young and old for the past 10 years. I think what the young people gain and old people gain from performance poetry and spoken word is a self-esteem, a confidence, life skills, and a chance also to find their own voice. I think the kids gain a self-esteem, they gain an ownership of their own voice. They are able to believe in their choices through writing and through expressing. And they also get praise, which is very rare for young people these days. Performance poetry allows children to own their own voice and to find their own voice. Performance poetry also enables children to pick up writing as a creative tool rather than an academic tool. So I know a lot of children that I've worked with have been failing at school, but when they do performance poetry, because they get so much out of it, it leads them back to wanting to read that book or to. I think any art form is good in workshop practices for young and old people, because what it allows them to do, it allows them to express, deal with emotions, it allows them to tackle situations, and it also allows them to talk about their fears without being penalised by their peers. My art form links young people from the street to their life, to school, to their emotions, to their feelings. I think it's a bridge for every single outlet, or every single fear, or every single joy, or every single pressure that they may feel. And I think nowadays schools and, life only gives it limited pressure, limited access to let go of that pressure, that being in drugs and alcohol. This what performance poetry can do.
My name's Craig Bradley and I'm a writer, and I've been using creative writing as a way to get young people to open up and to express themselves and to put things down on paper. It might be a poem, it might be a short story, a memory, an anecdote, just to see things on the page and perhaps as a way of beginning to work things out a little bit. You've got a problem on the page, perhaps you can walk away from that and start looking at other aspects of your life. I think young people get a lot from the workshops, the writing workshops, sharing ideas for a start, and the idea that poetry isn't arty-farty and belongs to somebody else. It's not something I do. It's for girls and all that. Poetry is a very powerful art form, and it can make you realise that that thought, other people have shared that idea, not on my own. Sharing ideas, but making something common and everyday. Just writing things down, but try to solve problems a little bit and suss out where you came from a little bit. Kind of shared experience, using writing as a way of beginning to tap into those problems a little bit. The arts it's a free for all. It's not prescribed. You can just, there's no limits. The only limit is yourself. That's the fantastic thing about any arts form, whether it's writing or music or dance, whatever it is. There's no limits, and it's about pushing things a little bit more, a little bit further. You can put things down on pages that you've carried around inside for a long time. You've had that weight a little bit, and maybe writing kind of frees things up a little bit. I just hope that, it's great working with a group of young people using writing as a way to express themselves and explore really usually interesting ideas and topics. I just hope that other young people that I haven't worked with in this project read and look at the words that these young people have put down on the page, and you never know what you're doing really. It's kind of invisible. You just hope that somebody somewhere on the bus can read something or see something somewhere that young people I've worked with have written down, and it relates to them. It's like a mushroom in a dark room, It can just grow from nothing, and hopefully, it did for me. Speaking personally for me, to read something that somebody wrote, actually thought enough about to write down, and then 10 years later, for somebody to read that and go, that's how I felt. To put that thought into words, to articulate very complicated ideas and put them down on a page. And then for somebody to say, wow, that's exactly what I thought, but I couldn't express it like that. That's what writing, and especially that's what poetry is fantastic at doing. I love meeting, I love debunking the myth of the art of the poet, you know. You know, you speak to these young guys come in and they've got that angst, which is fine, you know. They've got that spirit and that spark. And for me, as a writer, that's fantastic to see, because you can channel that, and they'll give you lots of attitude and angst, and they might be a bit, they won't engage initially. You've got to keep working through things and going down. You go down lots of dead ends, you know, with these young people using the arts as a way in youth justice. But you've got to make them the expert, and you've got to be prepared to throw your plans away and let them tell you. It might be about cars, music, it might be about acting or whatever. It doesn't matter. Make them the expert and listen to them. Maybe a lot of the people I work with haven't been, you know, haven't been listened to, you know, because listening's it's a creative art for me, and that's what I take away. Meeting young people, hopefully now you never know where it's going to lead, do you? They might think about that college course, they might think about reading that book, they might think about listening a little bit more. Who's to say? It's all good. It's all good. Personally, I've always found working one-to-one the best kind of method for me, working as a writer in youth justice. To work with a room full, everything changes, you know, then that can be hard to... Why should a young 16-year-old lad tell me anything? Why should he tell me? I've never met me. Why should he tell me something personal about his dad or his mum or his brother? Why should he tell this strange guy who's asking him to tell him? Why should he? That can be tricky sometimes, but you haven't got to be put off. You might get loads. One guy might say loads. Great, you're writing things down, you're getting something together. One guy might sit there like that and might just say one line, and that is a breakthrough for that guy. You know, the fact that he's kind of gone, yeah, but for me it was so and so. And you always get them kind of characters at the back who listen, and that can be as good as getting loads out of a more confident person, I think. So that's what I'll take away, you know. People kind of listening, sharing ideas, and being open. These guys were amazingly open. The first open session we did, they were scribbling away, and that was, well, I've turned the tap on, you know, which is fantastic. They're open to it, and I think that's a triumph straight away.
My name is Andrea O'Hare. I work for Kirklees Youth Offending Team. My role in that team is that of a link mentor, which helps young people back into education or finding employment or training. A lot of the work I do is focused around employment, training, education. We also have different projects going on. My name is Andrea O'Hare. I work for Kirklees Youth Offending Team. My role within that team is that of a link mentor, which helps young people that are serving a custodial sentence or a rigorous order to help them get back into education or to find some form of employment or training. From the point of view of the youth offending team, I think the main element of this is experiencing different things, such as like the graffiti workshop, DJing, creative writing, the sort of things that our sort of clientele would never experience before, I don't think. And it just helps them gain more confidence to go ahead and experience different things within a safe environment. Again, coming from the youth offending point of view, I think a lot of our young people have had bad experiences at school, and the sort of things that they may enjoy doing they wouldn't have been able to experience at school because they've either been excluded or they've got behavioural problems. So I think the art form gives them the opportunity to experience it because they wouldn't be able to in school because they've been excluded for one reason or another. In the beginning, to be perfectly honest, I thought that this is definitely something that the youth offending team need. However, I do feel that we need to be more aware of what young people actually want, because a lot of the time I think we as adults think that young people would enjoy this kind of art, and on the couple of sort of courses that we've run, there's been a few sort of sessions where young people haven't engaged well for one reason or another. So I think it's brilliant and that we should still do it, but with more of a focus about what young people would want rather than what we think young people want. Overall, it's been really good, and I think the young people have, the ones that are remaining, have really engaged well, and they've got a lot from it. And I think that it's built up the confidence and self-esteem, and I think that it's worked really well this time. And therefore, I can think it can only get better, you know, the more that we do it.
My name's Julie Britton. I work for the youth offending team. My role is working for the ISSP programme, and I've been bringing the young people to Sangam for the last 13 weeks. From the last 13 weeks has been a complete eye-opener. The young people have amazed me, and I think they've amazed themselves as well. The amount of work that they've put into this 13-week programme is outstanding. The amount of work that the young people have put into this programme has been amazing. They've been here for 13 weeks and worked very hard. I hope that they'll take a lot away from the experience that they've gained here. I think that the young people have all had a chance to express themselves in different ways, in ways that they can't normally. They've also had the opportunity to do things that they wouldn't normally get a chance to do. I was very apprehensive at the beginning of the group, thinking it would be a very hard upward struggle. The young people have come in and taken it to their hearts and worked very hard. I think that the young people will go away from here with a lot of experience and a lot of happiness. You can tell by the smiles on their faces when they do leave that they have actually enjoyed what they've put in.